Hey, hi everyone. So I've shared the installation video. So hope you people are installed that SQL Server and MSBI Visual Studio, guys. Data tools. I've shared the. Okay, great. So what about Prashant? Okay. So if you anyone is not installed, please go ahead and install that SQL Server and data tools. So going forward, so we'll practice on that one. Okay, super, awesome. So from today onwards, right? So next 14 days, next 14 to 20 days, based on like so topics how I am going to cover and all. So we'll completely on the SQL Server base. So SQL Server, what are the topics I'm going to cover means like so DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, data types, constraints. These are the basics one. Even indexes. Indexes we will discuss in deep, and then also like functions, joins, views, union, and difference between the union and union all, and user defined functions, stored procedures. What is temporary tables, and then table variables, and then derived query, CTE, normalization, denormalization, and also we discussed about the dynamic SQL, subqueries, triggers. So as a SQL developer, what things we required, all the things we are going to discuss in detail about in the SQL Server case. Like it will be almost 15 to 20 days class. So maximum 20 days, and then we can also go with the 15 days class. Okay, so this the next 2 weeks are completely on the SQL Server. Then after we will enter into the SSIS. SSIS again 15 to 20 days class maximum. So SQL class SSIS will have 20 days classes. Okay, so once you install your SQL Server, so you can open the SSMS. So SSMS. So this way you can ping to taskbar. So that we are going to use daily, right? So that is the reason you can ping to your taskbar, and then so once you ping to taskbar, you can open this SSMS SQL Server Management Studio. Okay. So first of all, what is SQL Server? What is mean by SQL? Okay, what is mean by SQL? SQL means a structured query language. S means structured, Q means query, L means language. Okay, structured query language. S means what? Structured, Q means query, L means language. So what is mean by this? Why we'll call it as a language? Okay, why we'll call it as a language? So why we'll use for language? Why will use the language, guys? So in general, why will use the language? Language is used to communicate, communication, right? So if you learn Hindi, you will communicate with the Hindi people, or if you learn English, you will communicate with the English people, right? And then if you learn Tamil, you can communicate with Tamil. Okay, so this is mainly for the communication purpose. Language is mainly for the communication purpose. But even in SQL Server also, we are saying it as a language. Why we are calling it as a language? Okay, so what is the purpose we are calling it as a language? Okay, so I will come to that point. Why we are calling it as a language, I will come to that point. So first of all, structure. If you want, suppose if you want to courier anything, like any item, what do you require? You require a structure, right? So the same way, if you want to keep any data in a proper order, you need a structure, you need to have a structure. If you want to keep data, any data in a structure, in a proper order, if you want to keep in a proper order, you need a structure. Okay, you need a structure. That structure may be table or views or triggers or stored procedure or anything. So where we will store the data, so the storing, we required a clear structure actually. On structure, what we are doing on structure, query means what? Question. Query means what? Question. So on that structure, you are asking the question, and the database giving the results. The database is giving the answer. Are you getting it, guys? On structure, you are asking the question, it is giving the results. That is the reason we are calling it as a language. So you are asking the question to the database is responding to your question, it is giving answer. So that is the reason the communication between the user and then database is nothing but a language here. Are you getting? So whatever the question you are asking, so the question it is giving the answer to that question, it is giving the answers. That is the reason we'll call it as a language. So SQL means, SQL means SQL, S means structured, Q means query, L means language. Okay, the structures may be tables, views, stored procedures, functions, triggers, and so on. So okay, these are the structures, guys. Okay, in this structure you may keep the data, you may keep the data in a proper order. On that structure you are asking the question, and then it is giving the answer. So that is the reason we are calling it as a language. SQL means structured query language. Clear? SQL means structured query language. So is that clear, everyone? What is mean by SQL, and then what is the structured query language? So full form of that SQL is structured query language. Now the thing is, so yeah, so here we'll have the server. Okay, if you go to this object explorer, if you go to the object explorer, this is the server. Under server you will have the databases. Under server you will have the databases. Under databases you will have the if you go and open any databases, under database you will have the tables. Under tables you will have the columns. Okay, so this is the structure. Actually this is the structure, same like if you open any desktop or laptop, under that you will have the drivers and folders, right? So databases is nothing same like a drivers and folders. So server is same like a your desktop or laptop, and the tables are nothing but a files. Okay, so that may be excel file or csv file. So the files will have the columns, right? The same way tables will have the columns. Clear? So this is the hierarchy, guys. Server, under server you will may have multiple databases like a desktop or laptop. Under desktop or laptop you will have the multiple drivers or folders. Under databases you will have the multiple tables, like under drivers, or folders you may have the multiple files. So under these tables you will have the multiple columns, like under files you may have the, like you may have multiple columns. Yes or no? So this is the hierarchy, guys. Okay, this is the hierarchy. So you will have the server, under server you will have the database, and then under database you will have the columns. So this is the hierarchy. Normally in SQL Server we have the hierarchy. So this terminology you need to understand: server, database, tables, and then columns. Okay. Now this total um, SQL Server classes will be on this main commands like DML command, DDL command. These are the four commands are very very important to know the SQL Server. Okay, these are the four commands are very very important to know the SQL Server. Like, so what is DDL? DDL means data definition language. What is mean by DDL? DDL means data definition language. Data definition language, right? So it is mainly to create the structure. DDL is mainly used to create the structure. It is mainly talk about only the structure. It will not talk about the data. It will not talk about the data. It will talk about only the structure. Okay, so only the structure means, let me open Excel, guys, so that I will explain very clearly. It will talk about only the structure. Okay, so whatever the structure you want to create, like, so the table you want to create, so it will, suppose if you have a id and the name and salary, suppose this is the structure. Okay, this structure part will be created. Okay, this structure part will be created by the DDL. Okay, it will not talk about the data. So this 1 2 3 something, okay, it will not talk about this data. Okay, it will talk about only the structure. It will create the structure, it will modify the structure. So the modified structure will have the alteration. So if you want to any modifier. Suppose if you want to add one more column, so you can go and then add one more column, that is like a phone number. Okay, so this is the alteration. So if you want to alter structure of existing table, you can do the alteration. And then if you want to delete this entire structure, you have the drop command. You have the drop command. So like totally we have the three main commands. So we have four commands, but three are main commands. Like what are the three commands? Like first, create will create the structure. Okay, create will create the structure. Alter will alter the structure, like if you want to add column or if you want to remove any column. Okay, all this take care by the alter. So if you open this ddl, so here in the ddl you will have the create, alter and drop and then truncate. Okay, we'll discuss that truncate later, but these are the three commands are totally talk about the structure. Okay, it will not talk about the data. Again, I am repeating, guys, it will not talk about the data, it will talk about only the structure, right? So the create, so what it can create, so the create can create the database, create database name, and then create table name, create view name, create procedure name, create function name, create trigger name. Any structure you want to create, you will use the create, and then so what is the structure you are creating, that name you have to give. That is a syntax, guys. So whatever the, suppose if I want to create a structure, like so database I want to create. So what you can go here, you can say that create database. So our database name is msbi sample something I want to create. Okay, so then execute. It is created the folder actually. So earlier we don't have this msbi like the database, like so we don't have this msbi samples. But here if I refresh this database folder, you can see the msbi samples here. So you created the structure, but for now this is the empty one. Okay, this is the empty one. You will not have any tables and then views and something. Okay, you will not have the tables and then views. So this is the empty one. Even if you go to the views, this is the empty one. Okay, if you go to the programmability, there is no stored procedures. Okay, there is no stored procedures. So all these structures are empty now. Okay, if you want to use this one, you can go and then drop down, you can select this msbi sample, or else if it is there in the masters, if it is there in the master database, by default it will be there in the master database. What you can do, you can go and then use say that msbi sample. So this is the database. You can say, and then you can there is an execute button, you can click on that execute button, so it will give the msbi sample. Okay, clear, guys? You can go and then use this database, so it will give the, msbi samples. Okay, so that way you can use the database. Okay, now if you want to create a table, so the create table syntax is create table, and then so table name. You can create table name, and then you have to give the inside open bracket and close bracket, whatever the columns you want. Okay, whatever the columns you want, you can give this inside. Suppose if I want id, okay, and then data type, you can give the data type id, and then you can give the data type, and then you can give the size. So how much size you want, you can give that size, and then comma. Okay, comma, and then next, sorry, this is the column 1, I can say column 1 data type, and then size you can give, and then comma. So each column will have the comma separated, then you can go with the data type 2, like column 2, and then you can go with the size, and then so the last column will not have any comma. Okay, last column will not have any comma. Is that clear? So here, so if you want to create the same structure, like so suppose I want id, name, and then salary. So I want to create a table. Okay, I want to create the employee table. So if I want to create the employee table, use the same structure and then give the like a table. So you need to follow the some standards, case. If you give the tbl means a table. Okay, if you give the vw, it's a view. If you give the sp, it's a stored procedure. If you give the fn, it's a function. So you need to use the prefix which structure you are creating. You need to follow the prefix like which structure you are creating. So I'm creating a table, so that is the reason I'm giving it as a tbl. Okay, tbl. So when you are creating a table, use underscore, or else don't use any space. Okay, emp, or else don't give a space, guys. Okay, don't give a space to create a table, so this is not correct. So either don't give any space, or you can use the underscore and employee details. I can give the, so details, the first letter will be capital, the remaining letters should be small. Okay, these are the things you need to follow. Okay, when you are creating a, when you are creating a table. Are you getting this, guys? Either you can use the underscore, these are the best practices, guys. Okay, either you can use the underscore, okay, or you can give without any space, but don't use the space to create a table. It's not a best practice. Clear? Just type C, guys. Clear? Okay, so table underscore the whatever the employee details, and then you can give the underscore. Okay, you can give the underscore, don't give a space. Otherwise you can go without space. Okay, this is my employee details, that is a table name. So create table, table name, create table, table name. So that is the my table name. So then I want the column one. What is the column one? I want the column one id. Okay, this is a column one id. And then what is the data type? So id is the integer number, right? So you need to give the integer. So integer will have the size automatically. Internally it will have some size. Okay, internally it will have some size. Okay, so we'll discuss the data types in detail later. For now I'm saying just remember this point. So how many bytes it will have and all, I will explain later when we discussing about the data types in detail. So there you will understand very clearly. So for integer and date, for integer and date we no need to give the size. So automatically they will size, they will take the default size. Okay, integer and date data types, it will take the default size only for the text. Suppose if you have the name, okay, if you have the name, so for the name, right, so you need to give the data type. That may be, so it's a character, right? You can give the character and then you can provide the size. So like I can give the 10 size. Okay, so next we have the what is salary. Okay, you can give the salary and then you can provide the data type, that is a integer. Okay, so this way you can create a table. Okay, this way you can create a table. Just go and then execute this. So it's created the table. But if you want to know the structure of this table, so how it is created, you can go to the object explorer. This part is object explorer, guys. Okay, you need to go to the object explorer, you need to go to your database, you need to go to your database, and there you will have the table. So if it is not came, you can refresh this table and refresh folder, table folder. There you can see the table. Under table you will have the columns. Under columns you will have the, so this id and name and then salary, right? So these are the columns we have. And then even though if you want to see the detailed structure, so there is a sp underscore help. This is a system defined stored procedure. It will expect this table name here. So if you give the table name, if you give this table name, it will go and then give the structure. So if you select this together, sp underscore help, and then if you give your table name, it will give the table structure, detailed structure. Okay, what are the columns are there? See, id internally it is taking the 4 bytes actually. So integer internally it is taking the 4 bytes. Clear? So how it is taking and all, so we'll discuss in detail later when we are discussing about the data types. So for now just understand, like for the integer and then date, so no need to provide the size. But for the text, right, so definitely we need to provide the size. So the table name and then owner, and then so like what is the table, user type table, and then so when it is created, and then what is the, column name, and then what is the type, and then so the length of this one, all these things, detailed things are there. But when you are going with this detail, like when it is nullable and all, so all these things will discuss, will going forward you will understand the remaining things. Okay, even you can also want to see this one. Okay, alt plus f1, alt plus f1 also will give the same information. Okay, alt plus f1 also will give the, suppose if I select this one, go with the alt plus F1, it will give the same results. Okay, see, it is going refreshing and then it is executing that. So I clicked on alt F1, right? It is executing the query and then giving the same results. Okay, you can use sp help with the table name, or you can go with the alt plus F1. Again, it is talk about only structure. This create will talk about the structure. We are not discussing about how to insert the data and then update the data and all. So we'll discuss that later. So ddl will talk about only the structure. So now you created the structure, so you forget to add one column. Okay, you forget to add a column. So like whatever the structure you created, if you want to modify the structure, then you have the alter. So what is alter? If you want to alter table name, you can use. Okay, if you want to alter table, you can use alter table name, alter view name, alter procedure name, alter function name, alter trigger name. Any structure you created by using the create command, that you can add with the alter, you can modify with the alter. Clear? Okay, any structure you created, that may be view or procedure or like a function or trigger, anything, so that you can use the, if you want to modify that, you can go and then use the alter. So alter, so normally when you are going with the tiler, so if you want to do some modification of that structure, like that maybe point or shade, so what will ask, like, can you do the alteration, yes or no? Alteration means what? So the structure modification is nothing but a alteration, guys. Clear? Okay, so now how will alter? So to alter this table, like we have a syntax. To alter the table, we have the syntax: alter table, and then table name, and then table name, sorry. And then if you want to add a column, we have two syntax: you can add and then you can drop. So add, like a column, and then column name, add column name, and then you can give the data type. Okay, even, so I think column, I think we don't require the column. So add column name and then data type. If you want to drop, so you can simply, if you want to delete any column, you can use this drop and then you can provide the column name. No, don't require the data type. Okay, so don't require the data type. So if something like coming in your requirement like that, if you want to modify any structure of the table, simply you can go with the alter. Simply you can go with the alter. Clear? You can go with the alter. So now I want to add a column, that is a phone number. Now I want to add a column, that is a phone number. So how we can go and then do that? So for this table, what I want add, I want the, so alter table name. So this is my table, and that table, so which column I want to add, the phone number I want to add. So what is the data type? That is an integer data type. Clear? So the syntax are very very important. If you know the syntax, definitely you will. Let me go and then, so you need to select this. Okay, you need to select this query and then you can click on execute button, or you can click on F5 also fine, or you can click on this execute button. Okay, so from your keyboard you can click on F5, or you can also execute this button. You can click on this execute button, anything is fine. Okay, so just execute. So the command completed successfully. Now you can go and then see the structure. Like this time I'm clicking on alt plus F1, whether this phone number is added or not. Let's see, this phone number is added. Clear, guys? So it will modify the structure. Even you can go here into the table and then you can refresh that, and then you can see the phone number column. Okay, you can see the phone number column from the object explorer. Now what I want, so if I want to delete any column, if I want to delete any column, so what you can do, like if you want to delete, so this syntax you need to follow. So suppose if I want a salary column, I want to delete the salary column. So what you can do, so drop table, so your table name, you need to give this your table name. Okay, and then so drop, and then what is the column name you want to give? Salary column, right? Salary column. And then you can go and then execute it. So drop column, sorry, you need to provide the column, drop column, column name, drop column, column name. Okay, so then you can go on then execute, so it will execute the successfully. Clear? So when it says command completed successfully, so it will give error. So something, if you give wrong, suppose earlier I did give this one, right? So what it is giving this is error. Okay, so like if you go with this column and then if you execute this one, the command completed successfully. When it is success, it will say command completed successfully. So that means the column has been deleted. So just go here and then refresh it. So and then go to the columns. You will not see the salary column here. And then same way, even if you want to go here and then this time SPA help, and then if you go with the details, there is no salary column. So it is modifying the structure. Clear, guys? So it is modifying the structure. So if you want to delete the column, so just you can go and then delete this, but you have added the phone number column. So phone number. So this way you can add the structure. Okay, it will modify the structure and then you can add the structure. So this is the structure, guys. Okay, this is the structure. And if you want to drop this entire structure, if you want to delete this entire structure, what you can do, like you can use the drop. So whatever the structure, not only table, whatever the structure you created, if you want to delete that structure, like that may be drop table, table name, drop view name, drop procedure name, drop function name, drop trigger name. So all the structures, whatever the structures you created, this is the syntax, guys. Okay, if you want to drop the table, drop table name, drop view name, drop procedure name, drop function name, drop trigger name. Okay, so this is the drop command, you can use it. So like you can go here and then if you want to drop your table, just you can write the drop table and then table name. Okay, drop table name. So what is your table? Just you can go here and then give this table name. That's the syntax, guys. Just you can go here and then execute it. So command completed successfully. If you go to this table and then you can go to the refresh, you will not see the any tables here. You will not see any tables. Even if you go and then see the details of this one, so definitely it will say that invalid object. Okay, this object is does not exist in the database, right? Clear? So like create will create a structure and alter will modify the structure, and then drop will drop the structure, drop the structure. So but it will talk about only the structure. It will talk about only the structure. If you want to create it again, you can go and then select it and then create it. You can select this query, which part you want to select, and then you can go and then select this query and then execute it. So now it is created. But whatever the structure is there, in that structure you want to, if you want to, in the structure, like, so what is the structure we have? So this is the salary. Okay, so in that structure I want to insert the data, like, so id1, let me zoom it, guys. Let me zoom it. Okay, so this is the id1 and then name AAA and then salary some 40,000. Okay, and then so 2 and then name some BBB and salary some 50,000 I want to insert. Okay, so what is the word I am using, guys? I want to insert the data. What is the word I am using? Insert. Hello. So like this command will be there in the DML. So I will talk about the truncate later, guys. So I will talk about the truncate later. DML means data manipulation language. Data manipulation. The name itself is telling you are manipulating the data. Okay, the name itself is telling you are manipulating the data. So what are the commands are there to manipulate your data? You have the insert, update, delete, and then select. What are the commands are available? Insert means you will insert the data like this, guys. Okay, you will insert the data like this, whatever the structure is already available. So you can use the, you can insert the data like this. Okay, you can insert the data like this. So this is nothing but a insert. So whatever the structure is there, you will use that structure and then you will insert the data. Okay, suppose if some item is there, so that is not there in the cupboard. Okay, just imagine, so there is a some item, so you are asking your child or someone, can you keep that into, can you insert that into, or can you keep that into, you will say into, right? Yes or no? Insert into you will use. The same way the syntax, right? So if you want to go with the insert, so you will use the insert into table. Where you are inserting into table the values, whatever the values you are inserting into a table. Simple language, guys, general language we are using. Okay, this is the syntax actually. Okay, so two types of syntax are there. Why we have the two types of syntax to insert the data, we'll discuss now. Okay, first syntax is insert into table name, and then values. And then so whatever the values are there, you can go and then value 1 and then value 2 and then value 3. So like this you can go with the etc etc. But in our table we have the like three columns, right? So you can go with the only three columns. Let's take this one and then use this syntax. And our table name place you can give the our table name, and then values we can keep as it is. And then so we have the first column, we have the id, so that we can give the one. And then so value 2 we have the name. So whenever you insert some text related information, guys, so in power bi we will use the double quotes, but in sql, right, we'll use the single quotes. Try to understand whenever you want to insert or whenever you want to select in the select list. So wherever you have some text, so definitely we'll go with the single text. Okay, so that is the name, so I'm going with the aaa. And then some salary, I'm going with the 40,000 for the number. And then date number, so we don't require the double quotes. Okay, for number we don't require the double quotes. So this way you can go and then insert. See, one row affected means one record is inserted, one record inserted. So the same way, if you want to insert one more record, just take a copy and you can go with the paste. And you can go with the bbb and you can write the 5, and then select this one and you can keep copy paste. And then you can go with the one more record. So this is 2. Okay, record number 2 and this 3. So id number 3, and then this is ccc, and this is 60,000. Okay, 60,000. You can insert the data like this. And then you can go and then you can select this. And then so you can select these two commands together and then you can execute it. So now the data is executed like so. Whether this data is there or not, let's go and then refresh this table. And whether this data is there or not, you can go and then right click, and there is a edit top 200 rows. Even you can enter the data by right clicking this table. Okay, by right clicking this table and then edit top 200 rows. So how you were inserted in excel, the same way you can also insert the data here. Okay, but this access you may not have in real time. This access you may not. How you can go and then edit, let me explain one more time. Right click and then edit top 200 rows. Okay, so how we are inserting the data into your excel, how you are inserting your data into the excel, the same way you can also go and then insert your data into the table. So like suppose if I want to insert the fourth record like ddd and then some 70,000, then you can go and then insert this way. Okay, insert this way. Clear? You can also save. You can also save. So you can go and then right click and then there is a save. Okay, so you can do this. And whether so you have these four records or not, so even you can also use the select command. Select command is used to select the whether the table data is there or not. Okay, the table data is there or not. So to let's go with this table, select star from this table. So whether we have this four records or not. See, these four records are there. Okay, these four records are there. Sorry guys. Okay, so the four records are there. So it is showing the four records. Okay, So the same way, um, the select command will discuss in details how we can go with the select for now. So whether these four records are inserted or not. Okay, this insertion, like we have one more syntax, right? Just a minute, just a minute, guys. మీటింగ్ లో ఉన్నా, మీటింగ్ లో క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నా, క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నా. ఏం లేదు, విజయం మీద ఇంకా వేరే ఎవరు లేదు. ఆ, మీరే మీరు నేను కాల్ చేస్తాను ఒక హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్. సంబంధిస్తాను లేదు, మీరు ఒక పూలదండ కొబ్బరికాయ మీకు రాస్తాను. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this is inserting the data, right? But in real time, so we have only three columns. Okay, here we have only three columns. You know the order, so that is the reason you are inserting the data. But in real time, someone will create the table, but you are not sure like what is the order. Okay, you are not sure what is the order. So what you are doing, suppose if you are doing the, you are inserting the records like this. So first you are inserting the name. Okay, you don't know the order, right? So that is the reason you are inserting the records like this. First you are giving the name, and then after you are giving the id, and then after you are giving the salary. Okay, then after you are giving the salary. Okay, so like some 8, some 5. Okay, so this way you are inserting the records. But if you insert the record, it's the order, the column order should be matched actually. So like where you are inserting the name, or where you are inserting the id, and where you are inserting the like salary part, that should be matched. If that is not matched, definitely it will give an error, right? So this is the number place, and the number place what you are inserting the text. Okay, number place you are inserting the text. This will not allow. Are you getting it? So in that situation, so you have another syntax actually. So you have another syntax. What is the another syntax? Like insert syntax is there. So that is the second syntax. Like you need to define the column order. Suppose you need to define the column order. Like so the column one, and column two, and then column three, column 3, and so on, so and then close this, and then you can give the like value 1, value 2, and then value 3. So like this you can provide the, so let me go with this syntax. Okay, this syntax. Okay, now my column is, first I want to go with the name, so I don't know the order. So first I will go with the name, and then next I will go with the id, next I will go with the salary, next I will go with the salary. So what is my table? This is my table, right? This is my table. And then so you can remove this that. So we have only three columns, that is the reason. And then you can provide the values, like so what is your name you want to insert? I want to insert the eee, and then you can go with the comma, you can go with the comma, and id I want to go with the 5, and then salary I want to go with the 80,000, right? Yes or no? Okay, so that is the reason we have the second syntax as well. See, now this is inserted the record. If you go and then select the records, like you have the fifth row inserted. Clear, guys? So far is clear what is the insert command? Hello? So insert command is clear. Just type C. Okay, so that is about the insert command. That is about the insert command. So next update we have. So like suppose you have the data like this, but this person got increase, he got increment. Okay, he got the increment, but his salary now change it to, his salary now change it to 90,000. Okay, he got increment, and then he got almost now almost 100% increment. That is the reason that salary got increased to 90,000. So I need to update his salary now 90,000. How we can go and then update? So like to update the data, so to update the name, or update the id, or update a like a salary, or any column, any value, specific cell data, if you want to update, you can go and then use the update command. The name itself, so the name itself is telling it's update command. Okay, so whatever you have, see here, this is the insert, and the next we have the update. So what is this update? So this update will update the any structure value. Okay, suppose, so to update you have the syntax, guys. Okay, you need to use this three keywords is very very important: update, set, and where. Very simple way I'm explaining, guys. Okay, very simple way. So whenever you write update, so you need to write these three first: update, set, where. Okay, what you are updating? You are updating the table. Okay, you are updating table, so you need to give the table name. Okay, you need to give the table name. So what you are setting? Some column value you are setting, right? Some column value, you don't know what is the value, so just I'm reading the syntax, guys. Okay, so column value, and then so you are using to identify that row, you need to use the where class. Okay, you need to use the where class. Where class is optional, but you need to use the where class, and then so you need to provide some values. Okay, like you can go with the comma separated, you can go with the column 2, and then you can also change the column 2 value, and then you can go with the column 3, comma separated, you can go with the column 3, and then you can also change the value, right? You can also change the column value. So this way you can use the update. So now I want this table update. Okay, so how we can I go to that? First you need to, so sorry, so this is your table name, right? So I want to update the table. So like what, wherever we have the salary, wherever we have the salary, like so 50,000, I want to make it 90,000. So like where, how you can make it that, like so first you need to write these three commands like update, update, set, and then where. Update, set, and where. So what you are updating? Your table you are updating, right? So space your table name, and then space your column. Which column you want to update? Salary column I want to set. So what you want to set? Salary like 80,000 I want to set, right? 90,000, right? So 90,000 I want to set. You can give the 90,000. So if you don't use the where class, I said where class is optional, right? If I don't use the where class, if I go and then execute only these two, the entire salary part will make it 90. Like this entire salary part will make it 90. Okay, let's see whether it is making 90 or not. Let's go and then execute, and then select this table now, and then if you see the entire salary part, if you don't use where class, it is taking the whole actually, but you are not giving where id is equal to. If you use the where id is equal to, only this part it will change. Only this part it will change. Okay, so now that is the reason what we'll do. We'll go and then drop the table. We'll go and then drop the table. Where is the drop table? So you can use the drop the table, and then let's go and then create a table one more time and insert the data. Okay, insert the data. So let's insert the data, and you can also insert this record. Okay, so this way we can insert the records. Okay, now we inserted the record. If you select the data, so you have the data. Okay, so you have the data. Now where I want to change this 90,000, like where id is equal to, where id is equal to 2. So what it is identifying? Id is equal to 2 means this row it is affecting. So this row, the salary part, it is changing to the 90. Are you getting it? Hello, see, this executed, one row affected, and then you can go there and then you can execute now. See, this part is changed to 90. Okay, but if you want to update multiple like multiple columns, if you want to update multiple columns, so you can go with the comma separated. Suppose let's take this update and then set, and then you can use the where, and then you can use this table name, you can use this table name. Okay, you can use this table name, and so there you can go with the set. Suppose I want to set the salary like so here the first this one. Okay, the first row, like salary equal to 70,000, salary equal to 70,000, and then name also I want to change. So name equal to, I can go with the some, instead of a I want to make xyz. Okay, and where id is equal to what? Id is equal to 2. So then id equal to 1, sorry, not 2, id equal to 1. This record I want to change, right? So id equal to 1, just you can go and then execute this. See, one row is affected, one row is affected. So it is changed or not? So even you can go with the multiple columns. Okay, So here I given the syntax, right? You can go with the multiple columns, like you can go with the comma separated. If you have a multiple columns update, you can go with the comma separated, and then you can give the, okay, you can give the values, like whatever the values you want to set. Update set is a normal words what you are setting values. Are you getting, guys? It's a normal language or not? Update and then set, so updating the table and then setting the values for this column values. This is the general language. Yes. Okay. This way we can update the values in a table. We'll update values in a table. Next, I want to delete the records. Okay. Next thing is like whatever we use the update and the insert. So you, if you want to insert the data, we'll go with the insert. And then if you want to update the data, we'll use the update. If you want to delete the data, you can use the delete command. So this is the total this is a data manipulation, right? So dml means what? Data manipulation. So it will not talk about the structure. Try to understand. So structure will talk about only the ddl case. Okay, so only inside the structure whatever the data is there, so that related information will be, like if you want to insert or update or delete, so this will be take care. Are you getting it? So now if you want to delete the data, so just what you can go, so that is a syntax. Delete from table name. This is the syntax. And even if you want to delete the specific record, you can also use the where class. So you can also use the where class. You can specify column equal to question mark. So what is the value you want to provide? So this is the two syntax you want. Like this is will delete the entire table. This will delete the entire table. Okay, this will delete the specific record. This will delete specific record. Okay, specific record. Clear? Okay, this will delete the entire table and then this will give the specific record. Okay, now let's use this. Okay, now let's use this. Okay, let's go here and then go this one and then give the table name and then go and then execute, and then now you can go and then execute it. See, this entire 5 rows will be affected, 4 rows. So the table having 4 rows, the 4 is affected. Now if you go and then select, the structure will be remain same and then only data is deleted. See, only ID, name, and then salary. So what delete will do? Delete will delete the, so when you go and then delete from table, so it will delete the data. The structure will remain same. The structure will remain same. Is that clear? So delete will delete the data and then the structure remains same. Okay. So even you can, if you want to delete a specific record, like suppose if you want to delete this record, you can go and then use the where class. It can delete this specific record. Okay, let's go and then see whether it is deleting the specific record or not. Okay, so now what you can do, you can insert the records one more time. You can insert the records one more time. So 4 records are there. Now what you can do, so now if you want to delete, like let's go with the select statement. So write the select. So go here and then select star from this table name, and then you can go and then select this table. See, so we have the 4 records. Now what you can do, if you want to delete a specific record, suppose I want to delete the third record. So how you can go and then delete the third record? Just to go and then write this one. So you need to use this syntax where class. So you can use the where class. You can use the where class. Sorry, where, and then like you can go with the column name ID equal to 3. You can provide 3. So when you are using ID equal to 3, then it will delete the specific record for that one. Now if you go and then select the records, now you can go and then select the records. So it will, see, there is no third record. There is no third record. Even truncate also will delete the records case. Okay, truncate also, like even whatever you are doing here, that there is a truncate, right? So there is a truncate. So this truncate and delete similar kind of works actually. The delete and the truncate will do the similar kind of works actually. So even truncate also will delete the entire table data. Like so, it will delete this way. Okay, but the structure remains same. Even truncate also delete the entire table data, and then the structure remains same. Even delete also will delete the entire table data, the structure remains same, but the delete will go like it will go row by row, and then it will delete the records like this. Okay, so it will go row by row and then delete the records, but truncate is not like that. It will lock the entire table and then delete the records. Are you understanding the difference between the truncate and the table? So the deletion is in a different. Both will delete the records only, but the deletion process is different. Like it will go row by row and then delete the records. Which one delete? Which one delete? But truncate, how it will go? Truncate will lock the entire table and then it will delete the records. Okay, so which one will faster? Which one will faster? So here you have only three records, you may not see the differences, but when you go with the lakhs of records, it will go column by row, row by row, row by row, and then delete the records. So definitely delete will slow. Yes or no? Hello, is everyone with me? Just type C, yes or anything. C means clear, S means okay. So this way it will the delete. Okay, let's go with the truncate. So what is the syntax for the truncate? Truncate table name. Okay, truncate table name. So this truncate will used for only the table case, not for the stored procedure, not for the no. So functions and triggers and then views. So this truncate is specifically to delete the data in a table. Truncate is used for the so, and the structure remains same. Okay, the structure remains same. Let's go here, and now you can go and then write the syntax for the truncate table, table name. That is the syntax for the truncate. So you can take a copy and then paste, and then so table name place what you can give your table name, and then you can go and then execute. So it will execute, so it will delete the data, entire table data. So now if you go and then select that, the structure remains same, but it will not, it will not have any data. So even delete also doing the same, but the difference between the delete and then truncate is, so delete will delete the records row by row, and then truncate will lock the entire table and then delete the records. So the difference between the delete and truncate is, so people will ask you in interview, the difference between the truncate and delete is, so let me go and stop SQL Server. Okay, so delete is a DDL command. Delete is a DDL command. Yes or no? And truncate is a DML command. So if you go here in the mind map, if I show you in the mind map, like see here, it is a DML command. Truncate is a DML command, and then delete is a DDL command. Delete is a DDL command, and truncate is a DML command. Truncate is a DML command, right? Okay, that is the first difference. And then second difference is, okay, the second difference is, like even some people will ask you the difference between the truncate, delete, truncate, and then drop also. Like so, the first difference is, like this is a DDL command, then DML command. Again, this is a DDL command. And the second difference is, the structure will remain same, but the data will be deleted. Here also the structure will remain same, and then data will be deleted. But here the structure and data both will be deleted. Okay, when you use the drop, data, structure, and everything will be deleted. And then you can use the where class when you go with the delete, right? You can use the where class, and then you can record, you can delete the specific record. But here you cannot use the where class, you cannot delete the duplicate like specific record. Let's see whether you can use the where class or not. See, let's insert the data one more time. Okay, let's insert the data one more time, and you can go there and you can use the where class. We'll try to delete the record one. So it will give the syntax error. Okay, so it will give the syntax error, you cannot use the where class. Are you getting it? So in by using truncate you cannot delete the specific record, but by using the delete you can delete the specific record. Okay, you can use the, you can delete the specific record. Now performance wise, which one will slow? Performance wise, delete will be slow, but truncate will be fast. And then roll back the data. What is mean by roll backing the data? Roll backing data means Like suppose if you have any if you delete anything some in your computer, like evf something fint is there, right? So I am deleting this one. So where it will go? It will go to the recycle bin, yes or no? Okay, but if I want to restore that, so what you can do, you can right click and then you can restore, so that will be come back again somewhere, it will be restored. Okay, somewhere it will be restored, yes or no? Okay, so that is called a rollbacking the data. So in database language, whatever the data you deleted, if you want to back the data, that is called a rollback. Hello, hello. Is that clear? What is rollbacking means? Rollbacking means like whatever the data you deleted by mistakenly you deleted it. So if you want to roll back the data, we can go and then use the roll back the data. So you can roll back. You can use the rollback command and then to roll back the data. Clear? So, but most of the people saying that truncate will not roll back the data, but only delete will roll back the data. But even I can prove this. But so if someone is asking interview, you can say that truncate will not roll back the data case. Okay, but so I can prove this, even it will roll back the data. But so to pass that interview, you need to say it will not roll back the data. So let's see, these two are roll backing the data or not. Let's go here and then if you go and then use the begin tran, and then so in the begin tran you are using this one. So you are deleting this record, id is equal to 3. So that means one row affected means it is deleted the record. But immediately if you go with the rollback command, this is a tcl command guys. This is a tcl command. Commit means so it will not come back, like shift alt delete. If you write the commit, shift alt delete, permanent delete. But if you go with the rollback, so it will command completed successful. That means even you have the third record as well. Where is the select statement? id third also, that it is deleted and then roll back the records as well. Clear? So even truncate also will roll back. So truncate will go with the, like you can use the transaction control, like so begin tran, okay, begin tran, and then you can truncate, and then you can use the rollback immediately. Okay, if something goes wrong, you can use the rollback. So command, so it is the table name, so you need to provide the table name. So and you can go and then execute this one. See, command completed successfully. So command completed successfully means what? Truncated. So truncated every like all the data, right? And then if you click on rollback, immediately the all the data will be back. Okay, but in between, if you select something and then if you do these things, it will not get the data, guys. Okay, in between, if you do some other things, so you will not get the rollback the data. Okay, so rollbacking means like whatever the data if you deleted, if you want to back the data, so that is called rollback. So delete will roll back the data, but truncate may not be roll back the data. So but as I know, like so even it is also roll backing the data. So this is a like, so we have the transaction control. So you have the two commands like rollback and then commit. So commit means like it will like whatever the operation you have done, so you can commit with that. So 100% you can commit with that. So that is called a commit. Rollback means so like you can go and then roll back the data, like whatever the deleted. So by mistakenly I've deleted, so I want to roll back the data, we can go and then use the rollback. So these are the like ddl and then dcl command, guys. Hope you are clear with this ddl and then dcl commands. So I'm going to cover the advanced topics like triggers, subqueries, dynamic SQL, normalization, denormalization, CTE, derived query. So all these topics. So normally in general classes I will cover till use and then joins, guys. Okay, but now I am going to. So some of the people even they are not attended the SQL classes, but if who are not attended the SQL classes, so I'm going with the basic levels to advanced level. Okay, so this will cover the total SQL classes. Um, okay, but if I give the one example, what you need to do, you need to go with the at least 2 3 examples, so that like you can practice very well the SQL Server. Okay. So just to practice the SQL Server whenever I given the class, so the same day if you practice it, so like we'll understand more about the SQL Server, guys. Okay, that's all for today. We'll go with the tomorrow. We'll go with a different class. Okay. Hope everyone enjoy the session, right? Hope everyone enjoy the session. Like so, what we need to type. So all are E, right? Okay, all are old people only, right? So no one is a new here. So EL, yes, EL enjoyed a lot, or E or anything. So super. Thank you. We'll catch up tomorrow, guys.